guys, it's Katie here. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Full Cover Foundation Concentrate. It's kind of a mouthful. I have been eyeing this foundation for a long time before its release, and then as soon as it became available on Sephora, I added it to my cart and ordered it. I was just so excited to try this because of the description that it gives. I was like, that's all me. So what the Marc Jacobs beauty line says is that it's an ultra lightweight, oil-free foundation concentrate that delivers 24 hours of full coverage wear. So it does come in 22 shades, so it's pretty good. I mean, I'm sure that you're going to be able to find a foundation shade that will match you, considering there are so many options. Now, the packaging itself is, it's just beautiful. Marc Jacobs kind of has a thing about harsh, sharp edges. He doesn't like that. So if you notice on all of his packaging, everything has a nice round edge. And the glass, it is frosted and it's nice and round. When you lift up this black top, you'll see this it's kind of like a dropper, but it doesn't actually drop anything. You're not going to be able to squeeze the top and anything comes out. So technically what you're supposed to do is just kind of apply this straight to the face. I don't really do that. I apply it to just a palette like this and then dot it on my face. Now, again, this is oil-free, it is full coverage, and it is matte. So a lot of people who would benefit from having a foundation like this would be oily, combination, and even normal skin. If you are looking for something that's undetectable on the skin, lightweight, and full coverage, then I would highly recommend this foundation. Spoiler alert, I love it. Marc Jacobs recommends using their Marc Jacobs The Face 3 brush, which is a newer brush that they've released, and it looks exactly like this. This is not the Marc Jacobs one. This is the Sephora Pro Bronzer number 48 brush. It looks exactly like the Marc Jacobs brush. So I decided, since they recommend using that brush, that I would use this to apply it, and I have to say, I love applying it with this brush. Now, I usually use for my foundation, it's dirty, but this is the LBD foundation brush from It Cosmetics. It's the Velvet Luxe line, and I use this for all my other foundations pretty much, but for this foundation specifically, I thought it applied a lot better with a big buffing brush like this. It's very dense and very soft, and it just blends it out very nicely and quickly. So if you have something that looks like this, I would suggest applying it with this kind of brush. With a beauty blender, I didn't think that it applied as full coverage as it could with a brush, so just keep that in mind. I have been using it for about 4 days now, so for me, that's enough time to give myself, a general idea of what this foundation is all about and whether I like it, I love it, or I can totally do without it. I am in the color Beige 33. Now, this is a good color for me if I'm self-tanned, but if I am not self-tan, then I do need to go about a shade or two lighter. So keep that in mind if you're the same coloring as me, a Beige 33. Well, I usually, because I do have oily skin, my foundations usually last about 4 hours before I have to blot. This one, it actually went about 7 or 8 before I was looking like, greasy, like chicken greasy. This foundation is pretty undetectable on the skin, I have to say that. Once you apply it, and if you apply it well, it just looks like your skin, which is truly amazing considering it is a full coverage foundation. It is very easy to go overboard on this. You need the smallest amount. I've made that mistake a couple times where you apply it like you would any other foundation, you dot it everywhere and then you blend it in, and it's just too much, and that's when it can get kind of cakey and definitely look like you're wearing makeup. So as long as you're using the smallest amount, I would highly suggest just taking a tiny bit, buffing it in all over the face, and then kind of looking at yourself and going from there to see if you need more coverage. It is buildable. Now, I will also check in with you guys during the day so you can kind of see how it wears throughout the day. Yesterday when I was wearing it, I wore it from about 10 a.m. till about midnight last night, And I was outside all day. We went to the mall, we went to get the car washed, we went to lunch, we went to, what else did we do? Oh, we went to like a sports store. We ran a lot of errands yesterday, and we were at an outdoor mall for the better part of the day, and then we ate on a patio for dinner outside. We were outside all day, and I noticed that my foundation, like, I was sweating. I mean, it's like 100 degrees outside here, and my foundation, it didn't move around all over the place either. I didn't feel like it was sliding all over my face, which is a huge deal for me too. I didn't use a mattifying primer or anything like that. I didn't even, like, I set it with a powder, but I didn't use a setting spray. And because I'm super oily, so I always have to use a powder to set my foundation no matter what I'm using. For the primer that I use, I always use a primer, so it makes it kind of easier for me to judge the differences between foundations if I'm using a primer, because that's what I always do. And I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer just because I do have a lot of pores right in here. Well, a lot of visible pores, enlarged pores, if you will. One thing that is my pet peeve with all foundations is if it emphasizes pores, and this one does not at all. Somehow it just kind of gives you this airbrushed look on your face and makes pores much less visible. Another thing I noticed, it makes wrinkles much less visible. I have a lot of wrinkles on my forehead. I make way too many facial expressions. So this is a foundation that honestly, it just made my skin look very even, airbrushed, wrinkle-free, and pore-free. Okay, so as for my dry patches, I do have some dry patches right along here, right above my eyebrow, and then right in between my eyebrows. And that's just the retinol doing its job. So if you have, I'm looking at it like up close, like magnifying glass status. If you have very dry skin, I probably wouldn't recommend this for you, just because it is a matte, long-wearing foundation, and I can see where it's kind of clinging to some dry patches right up in here. Not so bad between my eyebrows, but definitely over here on the sides where the retinol is doing work. So if you have dry skin, I'm not so sure I would recommend this for you, but if you have normal, combination, or oily skin, then I definitely think this is a good foundation. Okay guys, so I hope that answers a lot of your questions about this foundation. I'm going to go about my day. I'm probably going to film some other videos, and then I will come back and check in with you in a little bit. It is 10:44, so I'm going to go do some things, and I'll be back in a little bit to show you what it looks like. Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, so the hair is up, the lip color has changed. This is real life, so where's my phone? Let's see. It is now 3:47, so almost 4 o'clock, and I have no idea what time it was when I checked in earlier. Anywho, so let's check out the face. I have not blotted, I have not powdered. Blotted? That sounds weird. Blotted. Blotted? Blot? I did not blot. I have not taken a blot paper to my face, and I have also not powdered since 10 a.m. this morning. Okay, let me zoom you in. I'm hoping that you can see everything that I can. Now, I use natural lighting in my room. I don't use all of those studio lights and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that it looks very real, like what you see is what you get kind of thing, because I don't have all of these lights bouncing off of my face, creating this flawless look. So you can see that I definitely have some redness right in here on the tip of my nose. Totally normal, I get that all the time. And then I have a little bit of redness right in here and a little bit of creasing right on the corner, like right on the edge of my nose. So I should probably powder that, but I'm going to avoid doing that just so you guys can see how this holds up for the full day. See you guys in a little bit. Okay, last and final check-in, you guys. It is... Come on. It's 7:39. Can you see that? There you go. It is 7:39. So I'm about to lose all of my sunlight for the day, so I thought that I would check in one last time so you guys can see. It still looks pretty good. I definitely feel like I need to blot or powder my forehead and then Not even so bad right in here, like I usually feel, but I definitely feel like I need to blot. So let's try to bring you in and see if you can see a little bit. And I look so white from this natural lighting, but we're just gonna roll with it. So you can see that I have definitely some redness right in here, a little bit of cakiness right in here. It just seems to be collecting like right on the corner of my nose. But to me, I haven't had that yet until today, so I feel like that's user error. Like I've said a million times probably in this video, you have to use so little of this foundation, you can really overdo it, and that's when you can get cakey. So that may be what happened right in here. But everywhere else, I mean, I still have my bronzer on, I still have my highlight on, my brows are still on, and you can definitely see some shine in my face, but it's not anything that's like out of the ordinary for me. This has definitely held up very, very well considering how oily my skin is, so that is good. Well, I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I would highly recommend picking up this Marc Jacobs foundation. It's a good one. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.